International Women's Day was celebrated across North and East Syria on 8th of March, with public events, celebrations, and political meetings in all of the region's major cities. Kurds, Arab, Christians, Yazidis, and other minorities all participated in a wide raft of events, supported by civil society organizations, political parties, and autonomous female armed forces such as the Kurdish-led YPG or Women's Defense Units. The biggest celebration was held at Qamishlo Haitham Kicho Stadium. Under the slogan, "Together we will defend our revolution and save our land." Along with folk music, dances, and a carnival atmosphere, the crowd heard messages from female political and military figureheads in the region. Footage from Mahmoude, Haseke, Tervisbi, Jilaka, Girgilike, Kobane, Manbij, Shehba, Aleppo, and other major cities showed scenes of song, dance, and celebration. International Women's Day is celebrated across regions such as North and East Syria, Shingale and Mahmoud camp, all of which follow the teachings of imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan and placing an especial importance on women's role in society. Women performed theater pieces as well as poetry in the native languages in a celebration of women's contribution to the ongoing Rojava revolution. Other speakers highlighted the ongoing challenges faced by women's activists across the region. Women face particular assaults and violence across Kurdistan. In Turkish-occupied regions, women are singled out for gender-based and other forms of violence, including sexual assaults and kidnapped for ransom. Artists attended the Kurdish women's events making International Women's Day in Russia. Kurdish women living in different regions of Russia celebrated 8th of March, International Working Women's Day. Women held celebrations with meetings and concerts in the areas. Local artists and folklore groups took the stage in the celebrations held in Moscow and Krasnodar's Starovelichovskaya. The celebrations in Moscow started with a film screening. Then the representatives of the women's movement, the Moscow representation of northern and eastern Syria, and the Moscow Assembly delivered their speeches drawing attention to the resistance of Kurdish women against the Turkish state. The speaker stated that Kurdish women successfully continue their struggles all over the world, especially the YGA Star Guerrillas and the YPG fighters. Local artists Sare Khajiyeva, Leila, Monica, and Nishtiman folklore group performed at the meeting. March 8th was celebrated with the participation of hundreds of people in the village of Starovelichovskaya in Krasnodar. The celebration saw local artists and Goven group performing. Adikia Council co-chair Sinem Broyeva, Krasnodar Parliament co-chair Besa Aliyeva, and Krasnodar Council member Dilbera Wakil spoke at the celebration. The YPG, or Women's Defense Units, has held a military parade in Raqqa, North and East Syria, on the occasion of International Women's Day. Thousands of female members of the Manbij, Raqqa, Tabqa, Ain Isa, and Kobane military councils participated in the major display from the YPG. The YPG began as an almost exclusively Kurdish formation, but has since moved into Arab-majority cities such as Raqqa following the liberation from ISIS. The campaign against ISIS was spearheaded by the Syrian Democratic Forces in partnership with a US-led coalition to defeat ISIS. The YPG are a key component of the SDF and participated on the front lines of operations across the region, with members of the Islamic State reputedly fearing to be killed by women due to their radical Islamist ideology. During the 8th of March event, Kurdish Arab minority ethnic members of the female force stood side by side, including many recruited from former ISIS strongholds. Images of the Yebetçi, broadcast around the world, have garnered considerable fame and support. Hundreds of members of local civil society organizations also attended the Raqqa parade, which local folk artists also performed to accompany the event. Thousands of women gathered in Taksim for the Feminist Night March, which was held for the 20th time this year. The women voiced their demands for the night march organized with the slogan, "This rebellion will not end without establishing a feminist world." Women protested poverty, war, exploitation, femicides, violence, and the withdrawal from the Istanbul Convention. Before the meeting, many roads leading to Istiklal, Kadesi, and Taksim were closed to traffic, and entrances and exits were not allowed. Women wearing colorful clothes with whistles and banners often say, "We won't leave the streets and squares at night. Jin Jian Azadi. Male justice is not true justice. We won't obey." The police intervened against the women, shouting, "Open the barricade." The women responded to the intervention of the police by chanting, "We are not silent, we are not afraid, we are not obeying." The police attacked the women with tear gas and rubber bullets. However, the women broke down the barricades placed in front of them one by one and reached Sida Selviler Street. The women are loaded into the barricades placed in front of them. Kurds living in Damascus, the capital of the Syrian government, have held a celebration for International Women's Day. During the 8th of March events in the Zorava district, Kurdish women dressed in traditional clothes and danced Kurdish dances. Pictures of Kurdish women who have lost their lives in the struggle for autonomy and self-determination, as well as Kurdish-led political organization and imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan. Zorava, a predominantly Kurdish neighborhood, is only a few hundred meters from the presidential place of Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian dictator. But it remains marginalized and underdeveloped, with Kurds systematically denied access to basic resources under the Assad regime. Demonstrations of Kurdish language, culture, and political autonomy like that carried out on 8th of March are therefore not without their risks.
Kadın gazetecilere çok ciddi bir baskı var. Kadın gazeteci olmak Türkiye'de çok zor bir şey. Çünkü kadın kimliğiniz o toplumsal cinsiyet ayrımcılığı içerisinde hem kurumda, çalıştığınız kurumda hem sahada çok ciddi ayrımcılıkla karşı karşıya kalıyorsunuz. En fazla karşımıza çıkan olay yargı yoluyla taciz. Yargı yoluyla tacizden bizim kastımız da şu, gazetecilere açılan soruşturmalar. Gazetecilerin şu anda hakim karşısına çıkması, açılan davalar ve şimdi 2022 Ocak ayından bugüne kadar 29 ayrı dava dosyası takip ettik sadece kadın gazeteciler hakkında. Türkiye'de diğer gözlemlediğimiz şey sahada polis şiddeti ya da herhangi bir sözlü tacize de birçok kadın gazeteci maruz kalıyor. Çünkü kadın olduğu için, kadın kimliğinden de ötürü tırnak içinde sindirilmesi daha kolay lokma olarak görülüyor kadın gazeteciler. Ve dolayısıyla herhangi bir haber
bir alanda çalışıyoruz. Orada ilk işten atılacak birisi olursa ilk bu kadın oluyor. Neden? Çünkü o güçsüz görülüyor. Çünkü onun yerine koyabileceği başka birisi olursa ilk bu kadın oluyor. Neden? Çünkü o güçsüz görülüyor. Çünkü onun yerine koyabileceği başka birisini çok kolaylıkla bulabileceğini düşünüyor. Aslında öyle değil tabii ki. Kadın olduğum için bir habere gittiğimde bazen önemsenmeyebiliyorum, biliyor musunuz? Kadın olarak da zaten o sistemin zaten ana erkleri oldukları için, ana güçleri oldukları için bunlar zaten seni kadın olarak önemsemiyor, daha kırılgan görüyor ve daha fazla, yani bu yüzyıllardır devam eden bir şey, yeni bir şey de değil. Hani kırılması da çok zor ama bugün geldiğimiz noktada çok büyük ölçüde de kırıldığını düşünüyorum bunun. Yani kadınlar çok ön plana çıkıyorlar, artık biz de varız ve söz söyleme hakkımız var deyip sözlerini söyleyebiliyorlar. Kadınların daha fazla örgütlenmesi gerektiğini düşünüyorum. Daha çok dayanışma sağlaması gerektiğini düşünüyorum. İçerideki cezaevindeki gazeteci arkadaşlar...
Civil unrest and protest over non-payment of salaries and financial mismanagement have continued in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. Teachers and employees of the Raqqa University staged a protest in front of the higher education facility on 8th of March, demanding payment of the salaries and a failure to offer fair opportunities over promotion. 7th March also saw a day-long boycott launched by municipal employees across the region, including the KRI's second city of Suleymania. Halabja, Penjwin, Rania and other towns and cities across the region also participated in the protest. Addressing conditions for government employees such as teachers under the Kurdistan regional government, which governs the KRI, teacher Hadi Hussein Haji said, "Our main demand is for the payment of our salaries. If our demands are not met, we will take a stronger stance. We urge other universities to stand up and support us." But the second cause is the lack of services in the KRI, and concern over the internal revenues of the KRI as controlled by the government treasury. Financial mismanagement by the KRG, which is dominated by the Kurdistan Democratic Party and its rival Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, is endemic. Both parties stand accused of corruption and failure to provide service, salaries, pensions or benefits, leading to regular and ongoing civil dissent. A permanent commemoration of women's struggle has also been erected in north and east Syria, with the municipality of the town of Girgelege erecting a statue to symbolize women's role in the struggle for a new society. The statue, which shows a woman participating in traditional handicrafts, is said to symbolize the often hidden nature of women's contribution to society. It was built with support from the Nes Women's Union, Kongrastar. The co-chair of the Kurdish majority town, Nisrin Mohammed, spoke in front of the statue in the center of the city. This statue is a symbol of women's efforts and work in the freedom struggle to revitalize their culture and history. We celebrate 8th of March in the name of all women worldwide.